So this is how I would start a six-figure life coaching business if I had to start again from scratch. Now, for context, I have coached thousands of clients across multiple niches and have even been featured in Forbes and in Business Insider. I've also helped over 30,000 coaches to create their own successful businesses. So it's fair to say that I know a thing or two about starting a career in coaching. So if I could go back in time, starting from scratch, knowing everything that I know now, this is exactly how I would do it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The very first area I would choose to focus on if I were starting over is the business setup. And listen, the absolute first thing I would do is to get business training, because being an amazing, life-changing coach and knowing how to run a profitable coaching business that can support you are two totally different skill sets. You can be the absolute best coach in the world, but if you don't know how to get clients, you don't have a business. You just have an expensive hobby. It's like if you get training on how to cut hair, you don't instantly know how to run a successful salon. Coaching, like cutting hair, is a very specific skill set. Running a coaching business, like running a salon, is a completely different skill set. And really quickly, this video isn't about how to become a coach, but if you are interested in getting certified as a life coach, I have got you covered. Just head over to the Coach Pony blog for an article called How to Become a Life Coach, and it breaks down exactly what you need to look for in a great coaching school and how the whole certification process works. So it'll demystify that whole process for you. Now, back to business. Part of that foundational work is choosing a niche. And yes, oh my gosh, you do have to niche. And then picking the right business model. So when you're starting out, private coaching is almost always the best place to begin. And here's why. It's instantly profitable because you don't need too much money or too much infrastructure to really get going and support yourself. You can easily build a six-figure coaching business with just private clients alone. So for anyone who is starting from scratch, from nothing, that is 100% where I would start. And I know learning business systems doesn't seem particularly sexy. It's not as fun as designing a logo or dreaming about a fabulous retreat that you're gonna host someday. But this foundational work is what separates the coaches who actually make a living from the ones who are unfortunately just playing at it. And every single successful coaching practice is built on 5 core strategic business systems. These systems work together in a loop to bring you a steady stream of paying clients. And they are, first, your marketing system. This is how you go out into the world and find people who don't yet know that you exist. Then you invite them into your education system. This is where potential clients learn more about exactly what you do, and of course, why they need a coach. And it's usually, not always, but usually it's your website. Then interested folks enter your conversion system. This is how you gently, very gently, take folks who are interested in your coaching from browsing to actually buying. And then once they buy and money changes hands, they start your onboarding system. This is where you handle contracts and payments, and you get your new clients set up for success before the coaching even begins. And finally, last but absolutely not least, is your coaching system. This is the actual process you use to take your clients from where they are now to where they want to be. And if you are struggling in your business, I guarantee that you are missing one or maybe more of all of these systems. So getting this foundation in place is the most important thing you can do to set yourself up for success. Now let's talk about the big scary monster for most new coaches. And for many of us, that's actually pricing. So getting your pricing right is 90% mindset. Seriously, so many coaches are terrified to charge real money, something that can support you, because of their own money stories. They don't feel expert enough, or they think, who am I to charge that much? Like, who would ever pay me? I know this is probably familiar to you. Coaches know all about imposter syndrome because many of us feel it very deeply ourselves. So if I was to start over as a coach today, I would try to wrap my head around this. You are not just selling your time. You are selling a transformation, a solution to a major life problem that is valuable to your clients. You're selling your expertise, you're selling your system, and you're selling your focused, dedicated support. And that is incredibly valuable. Now for the brass tacks. At Coach Pony, we have a law. Let's call it Pony Law. And that law is this. You should be charging at least $100 per hour inside your coaching package. And yes, you must use a package. So do not charge by the hour. The reason for this is because that it's just really bad for business. And it's also bad for your clients. It encourages them to see coaching as a one-off transaction and not a transformation. And you can't create lasting change if they're only coming to you for random single sessions. Plus, administratively on the business side, you have to keep selling them again and again and again on that next session. And that's exhausting for you as a business owner. So when I was starting out as a career coach over 13 years ago, which wow, feels a long time ago now, I positioned myself as a premium brand. So think like a Mercedes versus maybe like a Kia. So once I got going, I charged $3,500 for a 10-session career coaching package. And I also had a VIP tier for $5,000. And you might be thinking, how on earth, Christy, did you justify those prices? Easy. First, your deliverables have to match the price. This goes back to the business systems we talked about earlier. So for example, your onboarding is smooth and your coaching system is logical and thoughtful. And every touch point with your brand feels professional and high-end. But the most important part, the part that people are paying for, is that you sell the transformation, not the coaching. I don't care about working with you one-on-one each week. I care about what working with you will do for me. So you sell the goal and the result. So you have to be honest with clients about what they're really buying. And I want to give you an example. So here's what I would say to a client. What is it costing you to stay stuck in a job you hate? And what is it worth to you to finally figure out what you want to do? Because if a new job would just solve the problem of hating Monday mornings, your last job change would have worked out and you wouldn't feel so stuck right now. And I admit that I am not the cheapest coach out there, but coaching with me, walking through a step-by-step process and really figuring this out right is an investment in that result, in finding work that you love. So see the difference? When you anchor the price to the value of the outcome, a few $1,000s to solve a problem that's costing them their happiness, their health, their sanity, it suddenly doesn't seem that expensive at all. It seems like a logical investment that they could actually make. Let's move on to maybe the biggest topic, where to find clients. And I know this is where the rubber really meets the road, and you've probably struggled with this. So you're a great coach, you've got the right business foundation, you've got your pricing that can support you. Now you actually need to get paying clients in the door. So the biggest mistake new coaches make is thinking they need to be everywhere all at once. So you're trying to post on 5 different social media platforms. Maybe you're trying to start a blog or launch a podcast and maybe host a webinar or give a talk all at the same time. And what it is not a recipe for success. It's a recipe for burnout, and it does not work. So if I were starting over, I would pick one marketing channel and I would focus on it relentlessly. So maybe that's public speaking, maybe it's podcast and podcast guesting, maybe it's networking and referral partnerships, maybe it's LinkedIn. It doesn't matter. The key is to pick the one that you don't hate, the one that you actually enjoy a little bit, and get really, really good at it, at that platform. Because in business, as in life and in coaching, focus is your superpower. By the way, if you want help with this, click the link in the description box below to watch a free masterclass where I give you a great marketing strategy that works right now for life coaches in 2025. Health coaches, dating coaches, life coaches, everyone. So go over and check it out. Now, let's talk about some quick tips on getting that very first client, because that's when your business becomes real, when someone actually pays you for your coaching. So I want you to forget complicated funnels, forget social media, and forget like any complex tech solutions. So you can let that go for now. And instead, the easiest place to start is just start by simply talking to people. Let your friends, let your family, let your old coworkers, let your volunteer buddies know what you are doing. You'd be surprised where that first client comes from. I interviewed coaches from all the big niches on my podcast: business, health, dating, career, executive, etc. And all of their first clients came from networking. Truly. Now, once you do that, next, I recommend creating a referral system with other coaches. So should you do it? 1,000% yes. Building relationships with other coaches and becoming referral partners and just mental support for each other is a fantastic way to build your business and get things rolling. You can send clients who aren't a great fit for you to another great coach and get them the help they need, and they can do the same for you. So the client wins because they get a great coach. The other coach wins because they get a client they might not have otherwise, and you potentially get paid for it. It's a win-win-win situation, so yay, it's awesome. Just make sure you only partner with people whose work you 100% believe in, and you would send them clients for free, regardless of if you had a referral bonus in place or not. Finally, let's talk about sales consults. Are they worth it? Do you have to sell? Is this how you get clients? And the answer is, of course, yes. If you are a private coach, then sales consults are not just worth it, they are essential, they are required. This is your conversion system, and you have to talk to clients to make sure they're a fit for you before they hire you. So if you're looking for numbers to help you understand your sales consults a little bit better, a good rule of thumb is that you should be closing about 25% of your sales consults. So if you have 4 sales consults a month, at least one of them should become a client. And if you're closing less than that, it's often a sign that something is off, either in how you're selling your coaching and how you're talking about the value of what you do, or you're getting the wrong people to these consults. Maybe they aren't in your niche, or maybe they can't afford coaching. But bottom line, either way, you do need to learn the skill of sales. And I know sales can feel like a super dirty word, but it does not have to be sleazy. I personally view sales as just another coaching conversation where I keep my coaching hat on and I try and help a client make the right decision just for them. And just to be clear, the right decision can be coaching with me, or it can be doing something else and maybe hiring another coach or even going down a different path. All that I care about is that they make a decision of some kind so that they don't stay stuck. So good sales is ultimately just helping someone make a confident decision to have a problem that they have. It's not necessarily coaching with you, it's just coming to a way to move forward. And it is a skill. It is a skill. So if you feel uncomfortable, I totally get it. I did too. But like any skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and then you can get better and better and really comfortable with it and at it. So you've got this. But please, don't skip this part. Let's talk about the part that makes you a super credible professional coach, and it's your coaching system. So if I were starting over from scratch, I would create structured systems from day one. And what that means is that I would have a clear process for how I take a client from point A, which is where they are now, to point B, which is where they want to go. So many new coaches just wing it, and I get it. I get why you do that. You are told by your coaching schools that the answers are inside of your clients and they need to hold the framework for the agenda. And I'll be upfront, the answers are inside of your clients. But people don't want to pay you for that. If you tell me to pay you $2,000 for a 10-session package and that the answers are already inside of me, my immediate response to you would be, then what am I paying you for? But if you show me a thoughtful framework or a coaching system for things that we need to address to help me make progress, then I start to see why coaching is valuable. And I also see you as a credible coach. The best news is that your coaching system ensures every single client gets the best possible results, and it's what allows you to confidently charge premium prices. Another part of getting great results is your onboarding process. And this is what happens the second after someone pays you, and it is absolutely critical. So think about it. Your new client just made a big, scary, exciting investment. They're going to have a moment of panic in many cases. It's called buyer's remorse or cold feet, and it's totally normal when you invest in something big and scary. Your job is to combat those cold feet instantly with a rock-solid onboarding system that makes them feel safe and comfortable and supremely confident in their decision to hire you. This means you immediately send them a contract, a welcome packet that details exactly what to expect, how to schedule their first session, and what their first day of school homework is. So your onboarding system handles all of the administrative and logistical details, but much more importantly, it gets coaching clients mentally ready to do the work and to get the most out of their investment with you. A professional onboarding experience says, don't worry, I've got you. You are in capable hands. Finally, let's talk about growth. This is about what happens after you've built that solid foundation. This is where you start to think like a CEO, not just like a life coach. A CEO looks at the business strategically. You have to regularly pull back to look at your numbers and be honest about what's working and also what isn't. And just as importantly, of the things that are working, what do you most enjoy and want to do more of? So it's easy to look around the world and see a lot of other coaches and folks in the online industries launching all sorts of things: retreats, books, online courses, group programs, membership sites, and then think to yourself that you need to do all of this too. And just to be clear, I absolutely made this mistake when I was a new coach. I ran around launching a bunch of different offers early in my business because that's what I saw other people doing, instead of realizing that ultimately my group coaching program was my real passion. So after I got great at private coaching and got my business going, if I had then focused on my passion of group coaching, my business would have grown so much faster. So do yourself a favor. Focus on what works and on what you love. And I want to leave you with this because it's the most important takeaway. It is absolutely possible to get to six figures and even multiple six figures just with private clients. So please don't fall for the myth that you have to do all of these other things to do that. And let's do the money math together because this isn't a fantasy, it's just numbers. So let's say you have a coaching package priced at $2,500 for 10 sessions. If you enroll two clients per month, that's $5,000 a month or $60,000 a year in gross income before taxes. If you enroll 4 clients per month, that's just 1 client a week. Then you've made $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year in gross income before taxes. So you don't need 1,000 clients to be successful. You don't need a massive social media following. You just need a few great clients and a solid business foundation with a great offer, and then focus so that you can execute it consistently. And again, I just want to say you can absolutely do this. It's not rocket science. You've just got to learn how to do it. And so that is exactly how I would start a life coaching business from scratch and scale it up to 6 figures in a year or in 18 months. And everything that I've given you in this video has the power to change your life. If you're willing to put in the work and create the results for yourself. You've got to take action. But if you're also like, could you give me a little bit more help? I understand. I do have something else which will help you. Like I said earlier in the video, I've recorded a free short masterclass on how to get your very first clients as a life coach, how to market your business. And that's without having to record Instagram reels or do something that you really dislike. So trust me, if you hate public speaking or you hate Instagram, you don't have to do it. Thousands of people have watched this particular free training and the countless reviews speak for themselves. You can click the link in the description to access the recording and take the first steps towards signing up your first client. And again, it's free, so go grab it. What do you have to lose? And finally, if you like this video, please click like and click subscribe for more life coaching content from me. And one last thing, you can click here to watch my story on how I scaled from zero up to $10,000 a month in 8 months when I started out as a life coach. That's all I've got for you today. I'll see you in the next video.